People of the verse, hello and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in today's video we are going to talk about the new takeoff and landing system that we are having right here at landing zones. And quite frankly guys, it is really not easy if you don't have any tutorial or guide. Now I gotta thank once more Rap Space here for teaching me how to do this. I decided to make my own video as well. Looks like we've got a dead starfarer above falling down towards the surface. This starfarer is not mine. I'm gonna try to leave here. So I would have thought that maybe there would be an indicator telling me where the splines were, but they're just not here. I have no idea. I've been trying to look for them, and just before I try to go anywhere, I just blow up in space and I become just like this starfarer. And this is something that happened to me actually 4 times until I decided to have a to pay a little bit more attention and realize that I was maybe doing something wrong there. So yeah, let's go back. The thing with Star Citizen, you know, when there's something that you don't know what to do, it's very easy to blame the game or the ship or whatever, but sometimes it may be your fault. And this is what I realized here. So getting back into the ship, and we're gonna get into the seats. So one of the things that you have to do, try not to open the doors until you're in your seat, because if you do, sometimes the splines don't appear. So just wait until you are well seated and comfortably installed in your pilot seat until you can finally call the ATC, which is going to open the door and call out those splines. Now, of course, the problem with those splines is, as I mentioned earlier, there are no indicators that tell you where they are. And I think that is a shame. I think that they should have some kind of indicator located in your radar that tells you where to look, because I find it a little bit ridiculous to just, you know, spin the ship in 360 degree to then find where finally the splines are going to be located. And that's unfortunately what we will end up doing here. So let's leave that hangar here at area 18. This is the very first time after 5 attempts. This is my 5th attempt at leaving area 18 and trying to look for the splines. Ah, found them. Found them right here on the right side. And gotta have to be really careful not to miss them, not to maybe have half of the ship outside of them. So I'm going to be quite careful here, not flying at full speed, and try to be always centered here in the middle of that little luminous tunnel, I suppose. And so here we go, nice and easy, picking up speed as I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this, and almost out of it. And now finally it is freedom time. Finally I have gotten out of the tunnel here at area 18, and I am ready to leave the planet. Alright, obviously we changed our ship now, and I decided to get a Caterpillar because a lot of people have been saying, oh Irad, it is so difficult now to land a Caterpillar, and some people have crashed, some people have had tons of issues with those splines, making sure that they had to go inside the tunnel. People were saying that the splines were a little bit too small for some of the bigger ships, so I decided to take the bigger ship that I have, this Caterpillar here. And obviously, it's always with a new flight model, it's not easy to exactly be properly aligned for the quantum travel, but eventually we are going to make it. And so we are quantum traveling our way all the way to Lorville. Looks like it's going to be nighttime. It's on the other side of the planet. Whoa, that is quite an interesting ride here to the other side. The ship looks a little bit unstable. What is going on? Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Got a really bad feeling. I turned off the engine. I'm going to turn off the engine, and alright, turning off the engine seems like it really did the trick. We're gonna turn on the engines again, and I think that this avoided a major crash here at Lorville. Luckily, we did not crash the ship. Things seem to be a little bit different here. First, there are all of those red lights. I think that these red lights indicate like where the Hurston headquarters are located, but this is, gotta say that this doesn't look good from afar. Level of details here of those red lights compared to other places. Again, I could be wrong. You know, maybe this is what a pilot is seeing at night when they're looking at large structures from afar that do have those lights to prevent, or actually to indicate pilots, where not to go. That's also a possibility, but it's just my opinion here that from afar those lights look I don't know, it seems like it's missing a texture. Maybe I should delete my user folder again. Maybe that's that, because everything else seems to be looking quite alright. So very weird. Anyway, I am for the first time flying in on Hurston. I'm on Hurston for the very first time in Star Citizen 3.10, and on top of that, flying my biggest ship here, the Caterpillar. And I gotta say, flying the Caterpillar feels quite different than what it used to in previous iterations of Star Citizen. The ship does indeed really feel like it is heavy, and it also seems to be constantly heading towards towards the surface. So I very often have to press space here, the space key, in order to maintain a certain altitude with my ship while I am also heading toward the spaceport at the same time. So very interesting feeling here. It's not just like an easy ride where you just had to press cruise control and then let the ship go toward your destination. This is not the case anymore. You really have to make sure that you are properly piloting your Caterpillar if you're flying a Caterpillar. And see, this is exactly what I do. I'm just going into the Mobiglass a little bit to see if I can call the ATC, and while I'm doing that, the ship is tanking and is heading towards the surface. So yeah, there's definitely some changes here regarding how that ship flies. Now, very interestingly here, those red lights do seem a little bit more convincing as we get closer to them. Maybe they had this kind of cartoonish feel because of the smog that is around Lorville. All right, so I was close enough to contact the ATC. It seems like there's actually a message that tells you when to contact the ATC. You can see that message here on top of my altimeter. So that's when you can finally call the ATC. If you call the ATC before that, well, you simply won't have any contact. As you could see before, I was trying to call the ATC in the friends part of the Mobiglass, or just by pressing F11. By the way, guys, for those of you who don't know, there is a hotkey if you want to get to call the ATC, or at least get to your contact list in your Mobiglass, and that key is F11. So that ATC did bring up that spline here, that spline which is not aligned to my ship. That means that I have to make a maneuver if I want to get to that spline properly. And I kind of like that, this gives a little extra challenge here for people who are flying, big ships that are not easy to maneuver. And this adds, this removes, this for me right now in Star Citizen 3.10, I find this being a novelty. Maybe I'll get bored of it, I don't know. But I like the idea of having an extra little challenge here, making use of piloting skills, just to make sure that we can have those proper landings at the spaceport without the ship blowing up. So here we go. We are in front of the this spline here, entering the tunnel. And as you can see here on the HUD, the new HUD on the Caterpillar, by the way, good job here, CIG, for bringing that HUD to all the ships. I am not flying really fast here. I have set my speed at 38 meters per second. I'm not going to tend the devil here and try to go at crazy speeds, 100 meters per second. That is just too risky. Well, it's not really risky because the ship is empty. But eventually, in the future, when we will be going back to Lorville from aerial, we may have, cargo holds worth 1 million alpha UEC. You definitely don't want to be ruining that, especially if you are flying somebody else's ship. So that's why here, doing it very safely here at low speed, and I'm enjoying my approach here. This I thought, it's funny because I thought I wouldn't like it. I thought I wouldn't like the fact that I am not given the freedom to make the approach that I want. But in the end, I kind of like the challenge of making a nice maneuver and entering that that tunnel and going through that tunnel precisely. I kind of like that. Also, now, next challenge is, of course, going to enter that hangar here. It is not a horizontal hangar, it's a vertical hangar, and since we no longer have freedom of approach, of course, sometimes the way we arrive at the starport is not necessarily ideal, so here that requires another maneuver that I'm going to try to execute as well as I can. So it looks like I'm well aligned here. So going to try my best now to align the position of my ship with the surface. I think that we should start now being able to descend. All right, seems about right. Let's not crush the ship in front. Okay, should be all right now. Okay, turning off the engines and landing complete. And there we have it, guys. This is how we take off and land in Star Citizen Alpha 3.10. I hope that you enjoyed this guide, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, as it helps this channel a lot. Also, we've got a very interesting giveaway here, and if we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this month, we're almost there. We will have an extra giveaway where I'll be giving extra money to some of you guys, so you really want to check that out. Again, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Star Citizen content. This is the Eradicator. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.